keeping COVID out of classrooms.
The sampling is going to give us some idea about, how well we're doing in keeping COVID out of the schools.
Dr. Jay Varma, New York City's senior health advisor, says in addition to masks, sanitizing, social distancing, and proper airflow in schools, random monthly testing for COVID-19 will be done on teachers, students, and school staff.
The school, this may be inside the school building itself. It may be a tent next to it. It's going to vary depending on the schools. And we'll have people there to assist and help supervise the process of collecting specimens.
A more painless, approved swab test will be taken.
But the one that we're going to use is actually a much shorter swab. It's what's approved for what are called home collection kits. So it's not the specimen that goes really deep into the nose.
The amount of students and staff tested will be determined by the number of students enrolled in blended learning at each school. 20% will be tested at schools with fewer than 500 students, 15% at schools with 500 to 999, and 10% at schools that have more than 1,000.
How can you guarantee that we're going to get expedited test results for teachers and students?
So one of the most important messages we need to let New Yorkers know is that we have made tremendous progress on speeding up the return of test results.
Dr. Varma says results are expected within 24 hours, and if a student or teacher tests positive, they, their doctors, and the city will be notified simultaneously. Contact tracing will then begin.
What that's going to help you do is help us kind of have a window into the percentage of infections that may be occurring in any given school.
Especially for those who may have the virus but aren't showing signs. The free random testing is something the United Federation of Teachers has been pushing for, and the city agreed on earlier this week to avoid a teacher's strike.
Teachers, then they'll go on a mandatory leave. It's an unpaid leave. If there are students, if there are parents that don't want their kids to be tested, then they go on automatic remote learning.
New York City would be the first major school district to reopen schools with the testing system. City officials say they're confident it will work because of the city's low infection rate.
The single most important thing we've learned from everywhere in the world, and again, that's Europe, that's Asia, is that you only open your schools when you have good control of your epidemic.
And the teachers union says while it's not mandatory for every student and teacher to get a COVID test before the first day of school, it is highly recommended. Now that monthly random testing will begin on October 1st. But remember, school starts on September 21st. The teachers union says the reason why it doesn't start on the first day of school is because they want to give parents enough time to sign consent forms. We are live in Jamaica, Queens. Jennifer Bisram, Pix 11 News.